Hi, welcome back. This was a video I was going to do anyway, but I had a request from a viewer about what cameras I use to film, so I thought I'd do this one now. Why not? Um, the main camera that I use is my old phone, which for a long time was my active phone that I used, but I also used it for filming. It's Sony Xperia 1. I think it was like the first generation one. There's more. I think they're on the Xperia 1.3s or 4s now, or something like that. It's a triple camera, so you've got a wide X1 and X2 lens, which is quite handy for close-ups and things. I'm only really just sort of starting to play with anything other than the standard X1. I don't know much about cameras, to be fair. The other camera I use is a GoPro. I like this because of the size, but I don't think it gives a very good picture, and it gets hot, sort of gets a bit flaky when it's hot. I mean, the battery runs down quick. That's because it's an old battery. It was second hand. I mean, this was second hand when I got it as well. Overall, I prefer using the phone much more than the GoPro. It's no good for close-up. I did get a set of lenses off Amazon, which I was going to try making a sort of a holder for. Let's get one out. They're sort of close-up lenses, or macro lenses, basically. I was going to sort of see if I could get better quality close-ups by putting these in front. I haven't got around to that yet. Maybe I'll try it. Would be nice to have a smaller thing, because I mean, this is a big phone. But I use them both in 3D printed mounts on indicator stands, mainly because it's just so easy to set up. In a metal workshop, there's plenty of metal around. You can turn the magnet on to clamp it, and you just loosen it off, and you can put it wherever you like, tighten it up, and you're done. And it's really quick. I struggled for a long time with one of these bendy leg tripod things, although one of the legs is now broken off, so that's going in the bin. Never had much joy with that. Just took too long to get it to be stable, really. Made a it's out an old massive SDS drill bit. Made a stand. This was to go on the T-slots on the mill and the lathe, and I have done a few shots with it. The one of me machining the parting tool for the rear tool post, that was the one with lots of shake on the video. That was this. It's so rigid it picks everything up. I mean, I did put a little rubber mount in there to try and absorb some of the vibration, but it doesn't really work, shall we say. The other thing, obviously, is a tripod. I bought this tripod off Amazon for £15 or something like that. Very cheap. Yes, it works. Problem with tripods is they're always in the way. You know, the legs spread out, and I'm always kicking it over and stuff, and I just don't enjoy using it. The other thing is that this thing is at full extension, and when it's down on the ground, it's about sort of tummy height, which isn't great. So I did make a longer prong for it to get it a bit higher, but it was never the right height. It takes ages to sort of undo each of the legs. You've got these sort of clippy bits which you have to do. You slide the leg in, and you do the next one, and you know, if you want to just get on with machining something, you don't want to be faffing around with that sort of thing. My neighbour gave me some galvanised steel sheet, which he bought for some reason and then decided he didn't want. So I was planning on potentially screwing these to the ceiling in strategic places so that I could attach the camera, you know, in places other than the machines and on my vise and so on. But yeah, that's another job to be done. Lighting wise, I've got 4 50-watt LED lights over my so 2 over the workbench, sort of 1 over the mill and 1 over the lathe. The lathe corner is a bit dark. There's another light which I've now positioned over there. It was the other side, but it was always really dazzling over there, so it's actually a lot nicer there, lighting up the drill corner. So that's actually looking quite good tonight. I've got a piece of paper above the lathe to try and reflect a bit more light down, and I think that's about it. I've not got any expensive gear. I mean, I got the GoPro, I think, for 199 second hand a year or so ago, probably 2 years ago now. And I mean, that was my phone, so I mean, I'm counting that as free because I would have had a phone anyway. But I mean, you can probably get a used one of those for £200 or so now as well. And if you were to ask me, I'd say get that one, just simply because it takes much better quality pictures than the GoPro. Sound wise, not a lot in it. I do need to improve my sound. That's something to look at. But there we are. That's my current solution, which I'm now using pretty much exclusively. Very occasionally use the tripod for particular shots, like outside or something, if there isn't a convenient piece of metal to attach to. But yeah, if you want to do this sort of thing, this is what you want. These are about, I don't know, 18 quid from Amazon, and really worth the money, I would say. Right, I hope that was interesting to somebody. Thanks for watching.